back to the channel, everybody. Up here in the mountains on the little creek. It's the first time in several weeks I've been up here, mostly because for about 2.5 weeks straight it poured down, and anytime it does, this turns into a raging chocolate river. So I wanted to give it a couple of days to thin out and get kind of cleared up and all that stuff, because every time it rains really hard in this creek, the fish population and the size of fish and all that, it varies drastically. Like, it changes completely every time it rains. But as you've seen on the little thumbnail, what we're going to be using is a 6-pack of Rooster tails, and that is all we're using. So if we snag and break off and lose all of them, well, that's going to be the end of it. We got about an hour and a half or so to fish, so let's get rigged up and get down here to the water. Oh shit, just missed one. I know there's some fish in here that can get it down. It's like when I first walked up, I saw several good sized rock bass. And I think one smallmouth, but I'm not sure. Is that a fish? No, it's not. Got my hopes up for nothing. Alright, well, let's walk down the creek a little ways and see if we can find something. Got you. We're not skunked. Oh, the smallmouth's chasing after it. Well, kind of tore your jaw a little bit there, but hey, we're not skunked. Got some little rock bass. I don't know what color rooster tail it is I used, but caught us one. I figured I would go with something, kind of bait fish color, not into your typical shad or chartreuse or something like that, but something that kind of mimics the little shiners and chubs and things like that are running around this little creek. My theory is there's a little bit of a deeper, more shaded spot, like right there where that tree is laying against the water. And I think they're kind of staying in there, but I can't really tell. I mean, I can kind of get my little spinner in there, but I'm running a really high risk of snagging and losing them. And I'm really limited on these things, so we're going to give this little pocket we started out in another little shot for a couple of minutes and see what happens. Alright, we don't have a ton of time to fish this afternoon, so we want to pack it up and move to another spot and see if we can find something, because we need more than one fish. Alright, spot number 2. Are you going to be nice and produce something for me? That is, if I can get my freaking rooster tail unhung. It's snagged on the rod holder or hook keeper thing. There's something over there underneath this tree that's hanging over that's big enough to get it down. It's just getting it to do it and getting back there too, because I've got a doorway about 3 foot wide to get my cast in, and my casting ain't that great. Ah, darn it. Well, there's rooster tail number 1 gone. Still got a little bit of my... Ooh, y'all probably can't see it, but there's 1, 2 smallmouth and like 3 rock bass right here in front of me. Okay. I don't want to lose my other one of that color, so go with a tried and true fire tiger. Is it cheating if I drop it on the bottom and kind of jig it for a second? I mean, I don't think it would be, because, you know, I'm technically still using a rooster tail, just not in the conventional manner. Well, there goes rooster tail number 2. Seriously? Alright. That's the end of this spot. Not only have I broken off 3 rooster tails, I've lost my leader material. And if I'm snagging that quick in this particular spot, that tells me how the rest of this stop's going to go, and we already don't have a ton of time, so we're going to retie a leader and go on to the next spot. Serious. Well, based on how this little challenge thing is going so far, I'm probably going to have to buy another pack of these little rooster tails, because I have snagged and broke off 4 of the 6 that are in the package, and I got all the way back to where I just left from, and my rooster tails weren't in my pocket. So I walked all the way about 50 feet from my vehicle, fell out of my pocket. So instead of going back down there where I know there's at least one smallmouth, but I'm not gonna bother with it, I want to pack up, go even farther down the road, and hopefully catch some, because we've got maybe an hour most left at fishing. Alright, what's probably going to be one of the last spots, or the second to last spot. I've got 2 rooster tails left, so we're going to start out with the chartreuse one. Push comes to shove, I can just take up on another day, because I've got some more rooster tails in my backpack, but they're not part of this little kit. Hey, we got something. We're not after anything in particular with this little challenge, if you want to call it that. Just anything that's willing to come along and decide to have rooster tail for lunch, supper, whatever. But little rock bass, pretty little fish. All right. Oh no! I had one on there. I don't know if it was a little rock bass or a smallmouth or what, but I seen it sweep out and get it, but my line got tangled up in this bush right here. I didn't get the hook set that I needed. Fish, stay on, stay on, stay on. What do we have? Got us a little small jaw. Stay on. You're cooked. You're not going anywhere. Well, that was a little too long in taking to get that hook out, because it was hooked a lot better than I thought, but a little small jaw. I see another one sitting right out there. It's just more than likely ain't gonna get a bite from it. Yeah, it definitely had some interest in it. Another one. I watched this one follow it for a long ways amongst about 3 other ones that came along and nipped at it. Another little Reginald. Summer fishing has been quite the slow thing today, or the last 2.5 months. Oh, seriously. This rod here that I'm using, for those of y'all that are wondering, it's actually a little bit stiff for what I'm trying to do, but it'll work. I just figured to grab it since I don't use it as much. But it's a 6-foot ACC 2-piece dock shooting, casting, whatever rod, medium power. It is a fairly stiff rod. Like, I wouldn't hesitate to throw, you know, small top waters, small crankbaits, you know, small jigs and stuff like that for bass with it. But it's definitely more along the lines of your dock shooting type rod for crappie and whatnot. But it's a very versatile rod, you know, for this kind of fishing. Fish. Feels pretty good. I mean, it's not huge, but it's a fish. One of the bigger ones of the day. Another rock bass. That one's pretty. That one is right pretty. I'm glad to see this creek finally waking up a little bit, but yeah, that's a right pretty fish right yonder. While I'm thinking about it, what's y'all's favorite size and color of rooster tails? Mine depends on what I'm doing. Like this right here, 1/8 ounce is as big as I'll ever use, because this creek right here isn't very wide, obviously, and it's also not very deep at all. So 1/8 ounce is about as big as I'll ever really go. But I would say my top 3 favorite colors would be Bumblebee, the black and yellow, whatever it's actually called. That one's just super universal. And then probably definitely my #1 favorite would be white flash. Like, I catch the snot out of white bass on that during the fall, winter, and like early spring. And then I like more natural colors. You know, I don't know what this one is. It's kind of a copper, gold, whatever. The more natural, like bait fish colors. But yeah, that would be my #3, or top 3, I should say, favorite colors. And then my favorite sizes, and like I said, it varies from what I'm doing. That is a huge fish bed. If I'm fishing a more open area, like targeting white bass, largemouth, something like that, I'm going to use 1/4 ounce to 1/2 ounce. Most of the time 1/4 ounce and 3/8 ounce. Something like this. 1/32 to 1/8 is all I ever really use. So 1/32, 1/16, and an 8. And there's a bass right here underneath me that I know saw me the entire time I was yapping. That was a smallmouth too. Don't tell me. And there goes rooster tail number L5. Did I get my other one? Apparently not. Dang it. Thought I did. Oh well. Alright, well, we have the last of the 6 rooster tails that came in that little pack tied on. The sole survivor is the little chartreuse one. You look a little bit bent. There we go. And I am tangled with my rod. What's the deal here? There we go. Maybe that that little chartreuse one will just pop a little bit better. Be easier for them to see it. Well. And I just watched it fall into the water. That's rough. Well, dang it. That was the last rooster tail out of that little pack. So I guess we'll be calling this quits. Well, I kind of predicted it during the intro. If we snagged and broke off all of them, that's it. Well, we snagged and broke off all of them, but we didn't get skunked. That's all that matters. I mean, we didn't catch a ton of fish, and this is probably going to be a pretty short video. I think we ended up with like 5, 1 smallmouth, and the rest were rock bass. I'm pretty sure I lost another smallmouth. I didn't really get a good look at it. May have just been a really big rock bass. Either way, I would have took it because smallmouth and rock bass are 2 of my favorite bass species, especially up here. Like occasionally, you can get lucky and catch a largemouth or a spotted bass in this creek because it feeds into the river way down that way. But primarily what you're going to see in this is rock bass and smallmouth. And if you're extremely, extremely lucky, a shadow bass. Now there'll probably be somebody who thinks, oh, there's no shadow bass in that area. Well, you're wrong. I've caught them. And I know the difference between a rock bass and a shadow bass. They look similar, but they are different. Anyway, that was a expensive little thing to lose. Those kits, if I'm not mistaken, I don't know. I'll put them up on the screen. They cost a pretty good penny nowadays. I remember back in the day when you can get rooster tails for almost nothing. But anyway, we lost them, caught fish, and that really is all that matters. So anyway, hope you like the video. I might try to do this with the Panther Martins, which honestly I like Panther Martins more. So I might try to do this with Panther Martins later on. Who knows? But anyway, I'm gonna get home, get this little video put together. Hope you like the video. We'll see you in the next.